because I have never met or personally know anyone that is 100 years old. So let me just share what type of woman my grandmother is and continues to be. First off, she's a God-fearing woman. In Barbados, she's a faithful member of the Little King's Church in Butler's Avenue and was a devout member of the Brooklyn Tabernacle. Growing up, I never got a chance to hear her preach, but everyone said her sermons were fantastic. She prays over all her family members, and when they traveled to the U.S., she would call me every morning to pray before I started my day. She would pray for family, friends, and even people she had just met. She's a beacon in our lives, that before we settle into a new environment, we would ask her to come over and bless our homes. She taught me that whenever I felt scared or anxious, to just say the Lord's Prayer and plead the blood of Jesus and trust and believe it worked each time. Gran is a family-oriented woman. She's the matriarch in our family, and she always puts her family first. She worked extremely hard as a cook and a vendor to make sure her children were clean and never hungry. She is a giving woman. As her children would often say, she would give away the shirt on her back and maybe even theirs. She often fed and helped many people in need. Each and every time she wanted to give me money, she would patiently wait until all the adults moved. She would pull me aside, slip the money in my hand and whisper, "Don't tell your mother," and give me a smirk and a side eye. She's a fashionista. She always dressed to the nines. She would say, "Gran in a sweet bright, you know. The boys like me bad because I used to dress up. The shoes must match the bag, and don't forget the hat." Gran had the best outfits I've ever seen in my life. She's hilarious yet a disciplinarian. Her facial expressions alone would have everyone laughing. You haven't fully officially made it into the family unless you get a good feel. If you know, you know. She would smile and say, "Like the boys, have friends, but lap your feet." With the smirk and sternness in her voice, I definitely knew what she meant. She is a boy mom. She loves her boys, and everyone knows it. Last week, she told Lieutenant Biggins, "I love the boys, you know, and I will love you and pray for you just like one of my children or grandchildren." Lastly, she is a strong woman. This is clearly evident right now as she's 100 years young and still going. We all know she's a very active woman, and even though the last couple of years were tough, she remained resilient. Her voice is still strong, and she will still give commands and demands. Happy birthday, Gran. May your day be filled with joy and excitement that comes with being 100 years old.
When I was 14 years old, she take me to St. Philip with her. And she's like, "Come and go with a ride for me." We went to this plantation, and she said that we got to dig some potatoes. So she said, when we get there, the man said, if you pick sense from that, give her a crocus bag, and we had to go and dig the potatoes. So I said, "Mom, why we got to go and dig potatoes? Bring back to this man to weigh the potatoes." She said to me, "You want to starve or you want to eat?" So that was my story. So then she had a crocus bag on her head, 2 bags, and I was walking behind her. So, okay. So I was walking empty-handed behind her. So then it hit me in my heart that I took one of the bags, and this bag was so heavy that I trailed behind, crying. Not crying because the bag is heavy, but crying to see the hard work that she got to do to maintain us. So I said in my mind from that day, she would never eat biscuits as long as I live and work. She would never eat biscuits again. She would never go hungry, and I'm gonna build a house for her. From that day.
And you fulfilled your promise.
Yes, I did. So when we get back down home, she said that this is it. Don't mind what you do for people, you got to do for yourself and your family and maintain your family. So I said, okay, then I understand what she was doing. So from today, Mom, I love you to the bottom of my heart. And from today, it's official. these keys, this house is your house, and these keys belong to you. And
Happy birthday.